To write the balanced net ionic equation for Na3PO4 plus Cu NO3 this is sodium phosphate and copper 2 nitrate. First, we need to balance the molecular equation. So the coefficients for this equation balanced would be 2, 3, 6, and 1. If you need help with that, there's a link in the description. Next, we write the state for each substance. Sodium compounds are very soluble, so we write an AQ, aqueous, dissolves in water. Nitrates as well, very soluble. AQ, so sodium nitrate, that's going to be aqueous. But this copper 2 phosphate, we should probably look that up. Phosphates often are insoluble. So if we look that up on this table of solubility, we find copper 2 here and phosphate here. So we're going to go over and down. And that I, that means that copper 2 phosphate will be insoluble. It won't dissolve in water. So when these substances react, this will be a solid. It'll form this solid. That'll sink to the bottom of the test tube as a precipitate. So we have our states. Now we can split strong electrolytes into their ions for the complete ionic equation. So sodium on the periodic table, that has a 1 plus ionic charge, and the phosphate ion, that polyatomic ion, is always 3 minus. So we have 2 times 3, 6 sodium ions. I'll write aqueous at the end. Let's not do that now. Plus 2 phosphate ions. And then copper, this is a transition metal. We really have to look at what it's bonded to figure out its ionic charge. Nitrate, the whole thing is always 1 minus. So we have 2 minus. This has to be 2 plus. And then we have 2 nitrates times the 3. So 6 of those nitrate ions. And those are the reactants in our net ionic equation. For the products, we've got 6 sodium ions, just like in the reactants, plus 6 nitrate ions, and then copper 2 phosphate. We're not going to split this apart because it's a solid. We don't split those apart in net ionic equations, so we just have our copper 2 phosphate here all together. And this is the complete ionic equation. Now we can cross these spectator ions out. So I see on the reactants here and the products, I have 6 sodium ions. Get rid of those. Here we have 6 nitrate ions. And again in the products, get rid of those. And what's left, that's the net ionic equation for sodium phosphate plus copper 2 nitrate. I'll clean this up, write the states in. We'll have our net ionic equation. So this is the balanced net ionic equation for Na3PO4 plus Cu NO3 2. Often you'll see the positive ion put first in net ionic equations. Doesn't matter, maybe it looks a little nicer. So note that we have 3 times 2 plus, that's 6 plus. 2 times 3 minus is 6 minus. So 6 plus 6 minus, that gives us a net charge of 0. Over here, this is a neutral compound, so the net charge is 0. So charge is balanced, and if you count the atoms up, they'll be balanced as well. This is Dr. B, and thanks for watching.